Welcome back to Under the Pink Hat, everybody. Episode 2 of Lanterns is here, and apparently DC decided that the best way to introduce John Stewart to the Green Lantern Corps is to give him an emotionally unavailable mentor, some alien kidnappers, and enough daddy issues to power the entire Justice League. So let's break down what the hell happened. We pick up in 2016 where Hal Jordan is doing what Hal Jordan does best, acting like he's the smartest guy in the room while having absolutely no interest in explaining anything. He's training rookie Green Lantern John Stewart, who is struggling with the ring. Flying, not great. Constructs, questionable. Following Hal's instructions. Let's just say John has already discovered that the ancient Green Lantern tradition of, I know you said don't do that, but watch this. Then John creates a little green bird. Cute, right? Except the bird keeps existing after John takes off the ring. And Hal is basically like, that's not supposed to happen. Which in superhero language is code for, congratulations rookie, you might be terrifying. Meanwhile, Hal is investigating the football field massacre from episode 1, and he discovers something really weird. The metal detectors at the field, they weren't looking for metal, they were actually looking for aliens, because apparently Rushville's security budget went from small town football game to Area 51 with bleachers. You know, it's up in the air. Hal traces the technology back to William Macon because apparently every suspicious billionaire-looking dude in the show has a ranch and enough secrets to fill a Netflix miniseries. Hal confronts Macon, things get heated, and by heated, I mean Hal gets shot, because apparently even space cops still have to deal with the very terrestrial problem of bullets. While Hal is busy bleeding and making terrible decisions, John gets kidnapped by some aliens. Because when you're the new guy, apparently the onboarding process includes, welcome to the Green Lantern Corps, here's your ring, here's your mentor, now get kidnapped. The aliens reveal the big mystery. They're hunting something called a Manhunter. And no, this isn't a horny dating app for assassins. The Manhunters are ancient artificial beings that existed before the Green Lantern Corps. One of them apparently survived and is now hiding in Rushville disguised as a human. So now John has 48 hours to figure out which person in town is secretly a murderous alien robot thing. No pressure, just the fate of an entire town. John eventually tells Hal what's going on despite being warned not to trust him. And Hal notices that weird little bird again, except now we're realizing this isn't just John being good with the ring. There may be something fundamentally different about him, something powerful, something even Hal doesn't understand. And if you've watched enough superhero television like I have, you already know what that means. John Stewart is either incredibly special or everybody is completely screwed. But then we get to the real bombshell, one of the big moments of this episode. Hal goes to visit his former mentor, Sinestro. And yes, he's imprisoned because even intergalactic war criminals get visitation hours. We know that Hal already had fought Sinestro in the past and imprisoned him. I don't remember exactly how long ago it was, but him and the sheriff were talking in the hospital. And I'm going to get to the sheriff in a moment, but let's just finish the recap. So Hal asks Sinestro with the Manhunter, and Sinestro basically says, yeah, that thing is dangerous, but then he drops the real nightmare fuel, the thing that is on everyone's mind, that the Manhunter isn't even Hal's biggest problem. John Stewart is. And Sinestro asks Hal, why don't you tell me about John Stewart? And then boom, end episode. Cue dramatic music, cue internet theories, cue approximately 900 YouTubers pointing at screenshots and saying, guys, what if the bird is evil? So episode 2 basically gives us 3 giant questions. Who is the Manhunter hiding in Rushville? Why is John Stewart's ring doing things it shouldn't be able to do, considering he wasn't even wearing it for most of the episode? And what the hell does Sinestro know about John? Because at this point, Hal's investigation has turned to an intergalactic episode of only murders in the building, except instead of the quirky neighbors, we've got alien space cops and who knows what the hell else. So we were talking about the sheriff I mentioned a little bit earlier. So while Hal is in the hospital recovering from his bullet wound, the sheriff is sitting with him and they're kind of chatting, getting to know each other a little bit more. We do learn that Carrie is from Gotham. Her last name is Kane. And people think she's either the Manhunter or she's connected to the wider DC Batman mythos, which neither would surprise me at this point. So like I said, people think that because Sheriff is always around John and Hal, that she is secretly the Manhunter, keeping a tab on what Hal and John know so that, you know, she can stay ahead of it and maybe stop them if we need to. We also know her ties to Gotham City. People think that she has some familial connection to Kate Kane, who is Batwoman in Gotham there. Or maybe that she was and she left Gotham due to issues with Batman, but we haven't even been introduced to Batman or anything like that, so who the fuck knows. But I feel like she is definitely not what she seems, but I'm not necessarily convinced that she has any ties to Batwoman or anything like that, but we'll find out. Hal in this episode was on fire. Kyle Chandler like really brought the comedic chops to Hal while he is investigating what was going on with the aliens. Just the, you know, him interrupting the city hall meeting and just chatting with his lawyer and the sheriff's husband, and there's the back and forth with it, and then him just driving around with the dead bodies in his car. Crazy sentence to say without any context, but it was just so funny. And no, seriously, like, it's only episode 2 and I am addicted to this show. This is gonna be like, I feel like this is gonna be one of the better, if not one of the top superhero shows, not even just for DC, but for any of the superhero shows that's ever come out. I'm already getting that vibe. Everything is well crafted, well thought out, well performed, and you know, an hour is not enough. Like, James Gunn, give me 2-hour episodes and give me like fucking 20 of them a season and I'll be happy. All right, we'll be happy. But anyway, what do you guys think? What are your theories for what exactly is going on? Let me know in the comments. Who do you think the Manhunter is? And more importantly, what the hell is up with that green bird? Because I don't trust it, not one damn bit. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.